Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something. See, when we talk about great sex for a man, most folks go straight to the act. Straight to the bed, the moves, the fire. But what you gotta understand is, if you really wanna know what makes sex great for a man, you gotta go deeper than the sheets. Deeper than the physical. See, y'all looking for sparks, but the fire don't start with friction. It starts with connection. Ladies and gentlemen, let me help you understand something real quick. Great sex for a man ain't just about the boom, boom, the back and forth, the noise, the sweat. Nah, that ain't the full picture. You can have all the moves, all the technique, all the stamina in the world, but if there's no connection, it's just activity. It's exercise with a soundtrack. It's empty. See, a man wants connection first, because when he's connected, that's when he turns the physical into something powerful. That's when the man you got becomes fully present. And baby, that's when it becomes great. Let me break this down. You ever notice how a man can lay down with someone and still feel alone? Still feel disconnected, still feel like he just did something, but he don't feel anything? That's because sex without connection is like food without flavor. You ate, but you ain't satisfied. And a lot of women don't realize that for a grown man, especially one who's done with the games and is looking for meaning, it ain't about the act. It's about who he's doing it with and how she makes him feel outside the bedroom that determines what goes on inside it. Now, connection ain't complicated, but it is intentional. It starts long before y'all ever get undressed. It starts when a woman knows how to make a man feel wanted in the little moments. When she looks at him like she's proud of him. When she checks in with his mind, not just his schedule. When she touches him in the kitchen or the hallway and it ain't leading to not just the touch that says, I see you, baby. That stuff, that's foreplay for a man. That connection is like charging his soul, not just his body. Y'all want to know something most men won't say out loud? We crave emotional safety. Yeah, we big, we tough, we got all this bravado, but at the end of the day, we want to feel like we're enough for the woman we're giving ourselves to. When a woman connects with a man outside the bedroom, it makes him want to give more inside the bedroom. When she listens, when she shows up emotionally, when she ain't just using him for attention or affection, he feels that. And that right there, that makes a man want to go to another level with her. And I ain't just talking about romance. I'm talking about being in tune. When a woman and a man laugh together, dream together, pray together, man, that stuff builds a kind of intimacy that makes the bedroom electric. That's when he don't need no help getting turned on, because the energy between y'all has been building all day. That eye contact, that gentle hand on the neck, that private joke only y'all know, that's what makes the sparks fly. When a man is emotionally locked in with his woman, baby, he'll give her the kind of experience that ain't just physical, it's worship. Now, some folks think connection means talking all day. That's not it. It's about being known. It's about a man feeling like this woman right here, she gets me. She knows what hurts me, what drives me, what scares me, and she don't use none of that against me. That kind of safety creates a bridge, and across that bridge, intimacy walks in, wearing no mask. That's when sex becomes healing. That's when it becomes something he remembers long after the lights go out. So the truth is, great sex for a man starts long before the bed. It's in the way you touch his soul before you ever touch his skin. You connect with his spirit, his peace, his heart, and the body will follow. Because when a man feels connected, he don't just show up, he shows out every time. You want to know what turns a man on more than a sexy outfit, more than candlelight, more than anything you could ever do in a bedroom? It's respect. Real, raw, consistent respect. You respect a man right, he'll crave you. You admire him out loud, he'll chase you like it's the first day all over again. That's the part nobody tells you. People talk about how men are visual, how men want variety, how men are wired for the physical. And sure, there's truth in all that. But if you want to get to a man's soul and not just his body, you give him respect. That's the fuel that makes him move different for you. A man can sleep with anybody, but he can't open up to just anybody. And when you respect him genuinely, deeply, it makes him feel like he's seen. Not just for what he does or what he brings to the table, but for who he is. When a woman looks at her man like, you matter, I believe in you, I trust your lead, that hits harder than any curve in a tight dress. It hits him in his pride, in his confidence, in his identity. And when you hit a man, the sex don't stay surface, it goes soul deep. See, when a man feels disrespected, everything shuts down. He may still go through the motions, he may still play the part, but he's checked out. You think you're being sexy, but he feels unseen. You think the bedroom will fix what's broken, but he's been starving for dignity all week. Men walk around with invisible wounds, and they wear armor to protect themselves from the world. But when a woman makes him feel like he can take that armor off, and she still sees a king, that makes him want to protect her, provide for her, and please her in every way. A lot of women misunderstand what respect means to a man. It ain't about obeying him or shrinking for him. It's about believing in him. It's how you speak to him in public. It's how you speak about him when he ain't around. It's how you challenge him, not by cutting him down, but by reminding him of who he really is. Respect is in the tone you use and the trust you give, and in the way you allow him to lead even when he stumbles sometimes. And let me tell you something. The man who feels respected in the daytime is going to turn into a different kind of lover at night. He's not just performing, he's investing. He's not just reacting, he's creating. Because he feels safe, he feels appreciated, he feels chosen. And when a man feels chosen, truly chosen by the woman he wants, that's when he goes all in. That's when he stops holding back. That's when sex becomes something more than motion, it becomes devotion. Don't underestimate what your words do to a man's spirit. One compliment can recharge him. One moment of admiration can rewrite his whole day. You got the power to build him up or break him down. And when you build him, not only does he grow, but he becomes obsessed with the source of that growth, you. He'll want to give you everything, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and not because you ask, but because he wants to, because that's what respect does. It brings out the best in him and makes him want to bring the best to you. You want great sex with a man, make him feel like he's a man with you. Make him feel like he's not just useful, but valuable. Let him know he matters, not just for what he does, but for who he is. That kind of love, that kind of respect, that's not common. And when a man finds it, he never forgets it. He never lets go of it, and he never stops wanting the woman who gave it to him. Confidence. I'm telling you, confidence is one of the sexiest things a woman can wear. A man might look at beauty, he might notice the body, but confidence, that's what holds his attention. That's what gets in his head and don't leave. When a woman walks into a room and she ain't worried about who else is in there, who's looking, who's judging, that kind of woman is unforgettable. And when she brings that same energy into intimacy, that's a whole different level of sexy. Let's be real. Men can feel energy. They might not always know how to talk about it, but they can sense when a woman is ashamed of herself or when she owns every part of her being. A woman who knows who she is, who ain't apologizing for her body, her voice, her desires, she draws a man in like gravity. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be a magazine cover. What you need is to show up like, this is me, baby. Take it or leave it. And that attitude right there, most men will take it every time. Because here's what most women don't realize. A man doesn't just want access to your body. He wants to feel chosen by a woman who loves herself. That self-love, that confidence, that's what makes him feel like he just won the lottery. When you carry yourself like you're the prize, you teach him how to treat you. And when you bring that confidence into the bedroom, when you let go of insecurity and start showing up fully present, that's when the whole game changes. You ever been with somebody who's worried the whole time? Worried about how they look, what they sound like, if they're doing it right? That nervousness takes all the energy out the room. You can't connect with somebody who's trapped inside their own head. But when a woman moves like she belongs, like she knows she's wanted, like she's worth every bit of desire he's feeling, that lights a fire in a man he can't put out. Men do want you to be shy about what you like. And a confident woman who can say, this is what turns me on, or do that again, or even just looks you in the eye with no fear, that's a woman he'll crave. Because now he's not just doing it for you, he's doing it with you. It's a shared experience, a moment where both of y'all are open, alive, present. And that kind of experience, that's what a man remembers long after the lights go off. Confidence doesn't mean being loud or bossy. It means being sure. Sure of your body, sure of your pleasure, sure of your voice. It's in the way you walk across the room. It's in the way you ask for what you want. It's in the way you accept compliments, the way you handle silence, the way you laugh like you ain't hiding from nothing. That's power. That's sexy. That's unforgettable. And here's the bonus. Confidence multiplies desire. Because when a woman is confident, a man feels safe to bring all of himself to the table. He's not worried about judgment. He's not trying to play a role. He's not holding back. When you're bold, he feels bold. When you're fearless, he steps up. When you let your guard down and enjoy yourself, you give him permission to do the same. And that's when things go from good to great. So you want to know what makes sex truly great for a man? It's when the woman he's with carries herself like she knows exactly what she's worth and knows he's lucky to have her. That energy, that confidence, that inner fire, that's what turns a moment into a memory. That's what makes him obsessed. Not just with the sex, but with you. You want to know what really makes sex unforgettable for a man? It's not just how fine you are. It's not how many positions you know. It's peace. Peace and presence. That's what makes a man open up, go deep, and come alive in ways he didn't even know he could. See, people think a man needs excitement to feel aroused, but the truth is, excitement without peace is chaos. It's temporary. It's loud but empty. What lasts, what sticks, what makes a man crave you over and over again is when he finds peace in your presence. When a man feels peace with a woman, he relaxes in his spirit. And when a man relaxes in his spirit, his body follows. You ever try to enjoy something when your mind is stressed, when your heart is guarded, when you're walking on eggshells? You can't. That applies to men too. If he's worried about being criticized, judged, rushed, or misunderstood, he can't give you all of it. But when he looks in your eyes and feels like he can breathe, that's when the walls drop. That's when sex stops being a performance and becomes real connection. Presence is just as powerful. I'm not talking about just showing up in the room. I mean being there. Too many people are present physically but absent mentally. They're caught in their thoughts, thinking about how they look, thinking about what's coming next, wondering if they're good enough. That energy, a man feels that, and it turns everything cold. But when a woman is present, when she's there in that moment, tuned in, open-hearted, unafraid, that energy pulls him in like a magnet. Let me tell you something about the woman who brings peace and presence. She becomes unforgettable, not because of what she does, but because of how she feels. She becomes a space he wants to return to, not just for sex, but for rest, for comfort, for alignment. That woman becomes his escape from the world, not another battlefield. And when he finds that, when he finds a woman who don't drain him but feeds him, who don't compete with him but completes him, he don't just make love to her, he pours love into her. Peace ain't quietness, it's safety. It's emotional calm. It's knowing that he don't have to defend himself, explain himself, or fake who he is to be accepted. That does something to a man. It awakens something in him. You want great sex? Create peace before you create passion. Let your energy say you're safe here, you're wanted here, you're seen here. That's the kind of energy that makes a man vulnerable in the best way. He won't just touch your body. He'll open his soul. And presence, that's where the magic lives. That's when a woman don't care about her angles or what the lights show. That's when she laughs in the middle of the moment, when she says what she's feeling, when she's free enough to let go and trust the moment. That freedom is contagious. It brings out the best in him because now he's not wondering if you're faking it. He's not second guessing himself. He knows you're with a mind, body, spirit. And that kind of connection, you can't fake it. You can't rush it. But when you got it, it's powerful. When a man finds peace in a woman, he finds home. And when she's present with him, not just there for the ride, but there for him, he gives her a version of himself he don't give to anybody else. That version is tender, focused, giving. It's the version that don't need a script, don't follow a checklist. He just flows. Because when there's peace and presence, there's no fear, no pressure, no judgment. It's real intimacy. So if you want to give a man great sex, don't just focus on the physical, focus on what you bring in, your energy. Are you his peace? Are you really there? Because that's where the difference lives. That's what separates a moment from a memory. That's what makes him remember you, not just the act. Let me tell you something that most people miss when it comes to men and sex. A man don't want to be taken for granted. He don't want to feel like he's checking off a box or like sex is some duty he's just supposed to perform. He wants to feel appreciated, not just desired, but valued. When a woman appreciates her man, not only for what he does, but for how he shows up, how he loves, how he tries, he becomes a different kind of man with her. That appreciation, that's what pulls the passion out of her. See, the problem a lot of women don't even realize they fall into is living in expectation. He's supposed to do this. He should know that. Why didn't he do what I wanted? That mindset, it builds resentment. It creates pressure. And pressure is the enemy of passion. You can't expect great sex when a man feels like he's being measured or judged every step of the way. But when a woman leads with appreciation, when she makes a man feel seen and celebrated, even for the little things, he rises, he gives, he wants to do more. You don't gotta fake it. A man can feel fake praise a mile away, but when it's real, when you tell him, I love how you touch me, or I feel safe with you, or even just thank you for trying, you open something in him. You open a door to his desire that expectation could never unlock. Because now he's not trying to perform, he's trying to connect. He's not just trying to satisfy you, he's trying to reach you. That's what appreciation does. It makes a man want to go further. Expectation creates entitlement. Appreciation creates investment. One makes him feel like he's not enough. The other makes him feel like a king. And when a man feels like a king with his woman, he don't hold back. He gives you his best, not because he feels like he has to, but because he feels like he wants to. A man who feels appreciated will learn your body, study your heart, and do whatever it takes to please you because he sees that you see him. And here's the part folks don't talk about. Sometimes a man is trying. He's just not perfect. But if every time he makes a move, you correct him, if every time he initiates, you respond with criticism or coldness, you teach him to pull back. You teach him that trying with you is dangerous. But when you show grace, when you reward the effort, not just the result, he keeps coming forward. He keeps reaching. He keeps wanting to connect. Appreciation don't mean you settle. It don't mean you accept less. It means you notice. It means you speak life even while growing together. You say, that felt amazing, even if you still want more next time. You say, I love when you take your time, even if the timing wasn't perfect. You point out what's good, not just what's missing. That's how you build great sex, not by complaining your way to it, but by encouraging your way toward it. And that applies outside the bedroom too. A man who feels appreciated in everyday life brings that energy into the intimate moments. He walks in knowing he's enough. He don't feel like he's failing before he even starts. He don't feel like he's being scored on a test. He feels wanted. And that right there, that's the fuel that makes him go all in. So if you really want great sex with a man, start by seeing him, not just what he gives you, but who he is. Show appreciation in your eyes, in your words, in your energy. Make him feel like he's not just good for what he does, but valuable for who he is. That kind of energy will do more for your sex life than any lingerie, any technique, any secret trick. Because appreciation is the real aphrodisiac. A man might not say it out loud, but deep down, he's looking for a space where he can just be soft, be open, be uncertain, be honest. You know how rare that is for a man? The world don't give men much room to be vulnerable. From the time he's young, he's told to toughen up, suck it up, shake it off. Don't cry, don't break, don't feel too much. And then later in life, he gets with a woman who says she wants intimacy. But when he shows his truth, she flinches. She mocks him, shuts down, or worse, uses it against him. That's not intimacy. That's a trap. If you want to experience great sex with a man, not just wild, not just passionate, but real, deep, unforgettable, you got to create a space where he's free to be vulnerable. You got to let that man know that when he takes off his armor, you ain't going to throw stones, you ain't going to run, you're going to hold him. You're going to stay, because sex is more than just physical. It's emotional exposure, it's spiritual, it's trust. And trust don't exist without safety. There's a level of intimacy most people never touch because they don't understand that real pleasure comes from full presence, and full presence comes from freedom. A man can't give his best when he's tense, when he's wondering if he's being judged, when he's guarding his thoughts or hiding his emotions. But when he feels like he's safe with you, that's when he lets go. That's when he gives you all of him, not just his body, but his energy, his affection, his depth. You want a man to be sensual with you, open with you, expressive with you. Give him space to feel. Let him talk. Don't rush to fix him. Don't roll your eyes when he stumbles through a sentence. Don't expect him to be smooth all the time. Let him be messy, confused, even afraid. Because in those moments when you don't run away, when you stay grounded and keep loving him, you earn something that can't be faked, his full trust. And when you have that, baby, the bedroom becomes sacred. Now don't get it twisted. Vulnerability ain't weakness, it's strength under control. A man who lets himself be vulnerable is showing you the highest level of courage.